never done this alone. Without Russell here. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Good Screen. I am Lauren.
I'm Lilah.
And we're doing something different this week. Well, we talked about doing it a while ago, but just weren't able to because of scheduling conflicts. I only get one Thursday off a month.
I get every Thursday off.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, finally, the stars have aligned. And today, we are going to be doing not a movie or a TV show. We're going to be doing a book.
We can read.
Yes, I can conjure apples.
I can also conjure apples.
Okay, before we do that, though, Lilah, what have you been enjoying on the good screen?
I have been enjoying Lethal Company.
Okay.
I am so obsessed.
You've been playing that for a while now.
Yes, I've been playing it for a while, and I have like 15 mods attached to it now as well.
Are you Hatsune Miku running around there?
No, I wish.
Oh, not those kind of mods, not like Left 4 Dead mods.
No, I got a mod. For anyone who doesn't know, it's like a little space game, and it's kind of scary. Mm-hmm. And there's monsters, and you're just trying to collect like scrap metal and bring it back to your ship. And I got a mod. I played yesterday with a few people, and I got a mod that they didn't have where I could control monsters. And
Whoa!
I was like, yeah, guys, I'll stay in the ship and watch you guys on the monitor. And then I could go into like ghost mode and then control monsters and scare them. It was really funny.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
That's what I've been enjoying.
That's really good.
Yes.
I've been wanting to play it with you, but they don't have it on Mac.
It's so good. I'm about to loan you my old computer, my old laptop. What is your good screen?
My good screen is, I guess, Heartland again. Do you know that I've been watching Heartland?
What is Heartland?
So, a kid at work introduced me to this show because one of their previous foster placements watched it. It's a Canadian long-running dramatic TV show. And it never aired in America. It was only on like Canadian airwaves until it got put on Netflix. There are 17 seasons.
Oh my god.
Each with like 20 episodes. And
like
they're all like 45 minutes long.
Canadian Grey's Anatomy?
Basically.
Is it a medical show?
No, it's about horses.
Oh, no. Laura's entering her horse girl era.
I kind of am, except I've never ridden a horse. I did touch one for the first time recently. I pet a horse.
That's crazy.
It was really crazy. Let me show you a picture.
You live in, like, horse country.
I know, but, like, I didn't grow up in horse country.
That's true. Do they have horses in the South?
Not where I lived.
Like, what's the premise, though?
So the premise of Heartland, it starts out with... Oh my god, there's a lot. So there's this family, the Bartlett family, lives on this ranch called Heartland Ranch. And Amy is, like, the main character. When the show starts, she's, like, 16. In, like, the first episode, in the first, like, 5 minutes, her mom dies.
Damn!
Because they were basically stealing this horse from a bad ranch. Like, a ranch where he was, like, abusing animals. So Amy's like, this isn't right, Mom. We have to do something about this horse that's being abused. And so then the mom's like, okay, let's go get him. But then on the way back from basically abducting this horse, they get in a car accident and the mom dies.
Damn, she killed her mom by having her go get that horse.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And so the first, like, half of the first season is basically her, like, grieving, but also bonding with this horse because they were both in this, like, traumatic event.
The horse lived?
Yes.
That's crazy.
His name is Spartan. He's an all-black horse.
Oh.
And so it's basically like family hijinks. We're in season 5 now, or maybe season 6. Russell watches it with me.
That's crazy.
He's also invested.
He's in his horse girl era.
Yeah, but it's really good.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more thing that I've been enjoying, but this can be short.
Okay.
I'm watching House again.
Oh my gosh.
House is so good.
I haven't watched House since I was a kid.
It's so good. There's so many needles in it, and it's every time a needle's on the screen, I'm like, ugh! But otherwise, it's so good.
Yeah. This is gonna be so fun. Okay.
Did you say what we were talking about?
No, I'll do that now. Okay, now let's get into the meat of the episode, if you will.
She meet on my podcast until I publish.
Okay, we today are talking about Fourth Wing. Yes. You're not saying anything, you're just looking at me.
What am I? Yeah, we're reading the book.
We've already
read the book.
Okay, I'm gonna go over some research, and then we can both talk about how we came to know of Fourth Wing, and then we can talk about, like, the plot and the characters and stuff.
Okay.
So, for some reason, I found conflicting reports on when Fourth Wing was actually published.
Oh.
But most of them said May 2nd of 2023.
Okay.
So, it was published just last year in May by Rebecca Yarros. Yarros, however you want to say it.
Yarros, but I don't think it matters.
Yarros. She has 6 other published books. A couple are like little series into themselves, but nothing got quite as popular as Fourth Wing did for her.
Yeah, I think the other ones are about, like, war and, like, military stuff, because I think her husband is in the military.
Either that, or I think she was, like, a military brat.
Something like that, yeah. And, yeah, this was her first fantasy book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was the first installment into the Empyrean series, is what it's, like, officially dubbed now. And Fourth Wing gained most all of its popularity through Book Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And Bookstagram, whatever you want to call it. Online book reading communities of, like, 25-year-old women.
Horny women.
Going crazy, yes. It was number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list for 18 weeks.
Holy shit.
For, like, almost 4 months.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's a banger.
It really is. He does banger.
He does banger. Spoiler.
Well, we didn't say who, so it's not really a spoiler.
Someone does get banged.
A lot. Some fun facts about this book that were mentioned in many places online is that the main character, Violet, does canonically have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which affects your joints in, like, numerous different ways. And also, it could be why she has gray hair, because EDS can also cause premature hair graying. This is the most professional podcast.
I have something to add to that. The author has that.
Yeah. Rebecca Yarros also has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I think a couple of her kids do too.
She has, like, 10 kids. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's a whole gaggle.
It's crazy.
So, I guess I learned of the book first, so I'll go over my story first. We were at Barnes & Noble in early November, because we were there as a part of, like, shopping around for Russell's birthday. Like, we were just, we went to the mall, went to Barnes & Noble, went to Wawa. Like, our normal Lancaster,
You doxed yourself?
trip. Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, they don't know my address.
That's true.
It's fine. It's like other podcasters say they live in LA. Like, okay, what
That's
podcaster
true.
doesn't
That's
live
true.
in LA?
It's true.
But we live in
the
other LA.
Lancaster. We live in the LA with horses.
Yes. So we were at Barnes & Noble, and there was this huge display of Fourth Wing and the new book, Iron Flame, because it had just come out, like, a few days before. And we were just kind of looking at it, semi-interested, when one of the, I don't even want to call him, like, one of the people that worked there, she came up and she was like, oh, have you heard, like, she was, like, restocking it or something. So she was, like, restocking this table of Fourth Wing books, and we were, like, semi-looking at it, and she came up and she was like, have you guys heard of these books yet? And we were like, no, we're just looking at them for the first time. And she was like, yeah, my daughter and I read these. She told me this before.
Her daughter read them.
Before I knew what happened. She was like, yeah, my daughter got me into this book and it's really good. It's basically like war with dragons and romance. And I was like, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. Like, I don't remember what it was exactly she said, but she really sold me on it. Mm-hmm. So I got both of them naturally.
Oh, you got the second one while you got the first one? That's crazy.
Yes. And I went home with them in tow, because they're like, I got the nice hard covers. They're like $30 each. I was like, whatever, these are for Russell for his birthday.
Oh.
But then we both started reading it kind of at the same time. Like, we had, like, separate bookmarks. And I started reading it. I got crazy into it right away. He started reading it. He was like, I think I'm going to let you read this one. And then that was that.
He was not a girl who got it.
No, he did not get it.
No. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was not for his demographic.
No. I think if he gave it more of a chance, maybe. But it seems like it's for the girlies.
Mm-hmm. For the girlies, by the girlies.
Exactly. Advertised by the girlies. Is that it?
Yeah, that's my story.
Okay. So I got into the book because one time I went over to Lauren's house and she holds a book up. She's like, have you read this book? And I was like, huh? And she like explained the plot to me and I was like, okay, I've never read a fantasy book. I don't know.
This was also before I got to chapter 30.
Yes.
I hadn't even gotten to that part yet.
Yes, Lauren was not finished with the book. But as someone who I've read, like, I'm gonna, like, it's gonna be crazy.
Yap away.
I'm yapping, and I've read a lot of things on Wattpad. So that's, like, the closest thing that I've read to, like, a fantasy book. And when you told me it was a fantasy, I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And then I saw it on Book Talk. And I was like, everyone's raving about this. Lauren's raving about it. I'm just going to buy it. And I bought it. And then I remember, I don't know if you remember me texting you about it. Like, literally, I was like, I'm on chapter 1. This is crazy. I love this. And then I read the whole thing in, like, the span of, like, 48 hours.
I did, too. I read it in, like, a week. I read it while I was at work, which is crazy to me. I read this and the second one at work with children present. But I read both of them in, like, a week.
So good, yeah. But that's my story of how I got into it. My life would be so different if I hadn't read this book.
Right.
Because now I read more books like this and it's good.
This is my impact.
This is, yes. You have
this is the impact of the lady at Barnes & Noble.
Yes. The lady at Barnes & Noble calls you to get the book, calls me to get the book, and then I calls like 3 other people to get the book. Because I was selling it hard to everyone.
This is how pandemic spread.
This is how it starts.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay. So how would you... I was gonna, like, read something off of, like, Wikipedia about the plot. How would you describe the plot in a non-spoilery way to get people to read it?
Oh, okay. So,
like, you can say characters' names and stuff.
Okay. Well, first of all, if you've read any type of fan fiction before, you'll probably like this book. Okay, so it's a young girl. I think she's like 20 or 21. Yeah.
She's 20 in the first one.
Which was weird. I was like weird about that the first time I read it, but then I was like, okay, this isn't weird.
Yeah.
But it's like almost like Harry Potter but with dragons. They have like different, like how they have like different houses in Harry Potter. They have different branches of like scribes and like the military, and then they have these people who are dragon riders, and you can choose where you want to go. I feel like I'm explaining this wrong. This is right?
That's right. There's also healers.
Yeah, that's what it is. And there's healers.
So there's 4 quadrants that you could go into.
Yeah. And so her mom is the general of, I guess,
the
like
military.
the military.
One of the generals.
Yeah. And so her sister is a dragon rider and her brother was a dragon rider. And she wanted to be a scribe, the main character, Violet.
Mm-hmm. And her dad was a scribe.
He
like I was about to say like groomed and bred her to be a scribe, but that's not
not
the right phrase.
No.
He raised her to be a scribe.
Yeah, she like takes after the traits of her father more than she does anyone else in her family. Mm-hmm. And on the day, I think it's on the day
on conscription day.
Yeah, on conscription day, which is where they like pick what they're gonna do, or they go into like
it's like the first day.
Yeah, day one.
First day of college.
Her mom is like, you need to go be a dragon rider, and
yeah, you need to be a dragon rider, and even if you don't, you're gonna be a dragon rider.
You're gonna be a dragon rider, and the thing with that is, everyone who volunteers to be a dragon rider, they are like they're training to do this. They know what's like gonna happen.
Yeah.
On day one, they have to walk across this like almost like a skinny bridge is the best way I'm gonna describe it.
It's called the parapet.
Yeah. So she walks across this bridge, and If you fall off, you just fucking die.
Yeah,
Period.
and so the whole, like, theming of this book is, like, you fly or you die.
Which is
so
like,
cheesy.
honestly so cringe. But
It's really funny, though.
yeah.
But basically, it's very high stakes. Like, none of the other quadrants
Yeah.
are like this. It's just the Dragon Rider's quadrant.
Because if
Wagon
you...
Wido Conwyd.
Wagon Wido. Because, well, and the purpose of that is if you're gonna not make it across this bridge, you're not gonna make it riding a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they want to weed out whoever's not strong enough. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, she goes through all this stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm gonna say she makes it...
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, she makes it across. It's, like,
Yeah.
literally in the second chapter.
Also, it's like pouring rain.
Oh.
No, not in real life.
Yes. It's
Lila
pouring
just
rain.
looked out the window.
It's pouring... Yes, it's pouring rain while she's going across it.
Yeah.
And one thing that's important is her sister, Mira... she's like giving her tips to get across and tips to make it in the dragon quadrant.
Yeah, like
She's-
even like before she went in, she gave her like
Yeah,
a special
she-
paper. She said, "You're not gonna want to ride your leather riding boots. You want these like military boots.
Yeah,
like,
because
boots,
they're
boots.
gonna grip. They got that
They got that
gorilla grip.
Yes, they got that goose grip."
Anyway.
And Mira also tells her, "Don't make friends."
Yes.
And immediately she makes like 5 friends.
They're very different. The two characters are very different.
Yeah.
And Mira's like, if you hear a guy's name named Zayden Ryerson,
Run a million
go
miles
away.
away.
And she sees him immediately and she's like, oh, hi.
Basically, yeah.
Basically. She's like, oh, man, I guess there he is.
Like she walks across the parapet and he was just there.
He's
Or
asking
he was like
people what
taking
their
the
names were.
yeah, he
so
was
they could,
doing the
yeah.
list. And she sees him and she's like, "My name is Violet Sorengale." He's like, he's got like the heebie-jeebies.
I would too if I saw him. I'd be like, ooh. But
So yeah, Zayden's supposed to be like this. Mira paints him to be like a really bad guy because he is the son of a traitor, basically. Like a whole like division of these kids are currently at. Did you say Basgaeth or Basgaeth?
Neither. I say Basquiat.
What the fuck? Okay, I say Basgaeth.
I think the
War College.
Yeah, the War College. I think the correct thing that Rebecca said was Basgaeth. but
Basgaeth?
That's not
okay,
what
so I was
I say.
close.
You're close enough.
Yeah.
We'll just say the War College.
Yeah. So at this War College, so another important thing is like there was this huge war not too long ago, like a civil war type thing where there was a rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really knows what they were rebelling about. They were just rebelling. But all of the children of those who rebelled, because all the parents were killed, I think, pretty much.
Yes.
But all of the children were still raised, but they were basically like branded and
Yes,
forced
and
to
they-
all be dragon
They
riders.
have, yeah. They were either they have to go across the parapet. If they die, they die. If they live, then they have to go through this academy.
Yes.
No other choice. Yeah, that's basically that's like enough before I'm gonna get into like spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about Violet going through her first year at the Dragon Academy and the friends she meets along the way. A lot of friends. And like one more thing, I don't think you can cut this out if you think it's a spoiler.
Okay.
But like in the academy, like you're not safe. Like people can
No.
just try and kill you.
Yeah,
You're-
that's made very
oh.
clear from the first thing because
Yeah.
that when Jack was running down the parapet to get her, he was trying to push her over.
Yeah, when she went on the parapet, someone was behind her trying to kill her.
And he did push other people over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason. He was
Yeah.
just being
But it was like
jerk.
after you got across the parapet, you weren't supposed to kill anybody yet until you were like officially like in your placement
yeah.
or something. But yeah, it's just like whatever. You could kill everybody else in your class and that would make you the strongest, and that's okay.
Yes. But the only
It's
thing
like the Purge, but
Yes.
college.
But you can't kill people who aren't in your wing.
Yes.
That's one other thing.
No, I thought it was you can't kill people in your wing.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah. So your wing is, like,
you can't kill your teammates, but you can
limits.
kill
Yeah.
others.
Yeah. And they go through, like, challenges where they'll face other people on, like, a mat, and they'll fight them. And, like, if they wanted to, they could kill you there. Because you don't really fight people in your wing too much.
Yeah, there was a really crazy scene with that.
There was a really crazy... That's a great scene. But, yeah, it's, like... And the book is, like, spicy, and it's, like, it's also, like, a slow burn, like, not...
It is very much slow burn.
Yes, but what's
not, like,
good...
excruciating, but more just, like, actual relationship building.
Yes, and I think that's where this book really succeeds, is because, like, there's so much world building and other stuff that's happening that you kind of, like the slow burn of it all, like, makes the build up better. Like, you're not just, like, bored and, like, when are they gonna fuck?
Yeah.
You're just, like, you're still focusing on the actual plot.
I also like how you basically learn along with Violet, and she kind of is a MacGuffin sometimes, because one of her, like, coping skills is, like, repeating things that she knows, like, history things, because she studied to be a scribe her whole life. She knows a lot of crazy stuff. So there are some things that are, like, kind of explained to you anyways, but a lot of it is, like, hard world building. Like, you have to figure out what the hell a signet means, or what was it that they call the tattoos?
Relic.
Yeah.
Well, I remember asking you, I was like, what does this mean?
Yeah, it's like a tattoo.
Yeah.
But, like, a magical tattoo.
Right. I got it eventually, but yeah, but it's not like boring learning about that stuff either. Like,
no, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Because a lot of it is, like, context clues and stuff like that.
I feel like it's a lot of things to learn at once, but, like, it gets clarified within, like, the first, like, quarter of the book.
Yeah.
You understand, like, fully what's happening. And there's a lot, like, there's plot twists, which are good.
Yes.
The plot twists in it are good.
So we're not going to really talk about the second book at all, Iron Flame. Plot twist crazy.
Plot
twist central.
Plot twists go crazy. And we're only on the second book, which is crazy.
There's supposed to be 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what did you say? Fourth Wing came out in May, and Iron Flame came out in October, November.
Yeah, it was, like, late October.
And it's, like, an 800-page book.
Yes, it is.
Which is
crazy.
crazy.
It's twice as big as Fourth Wing is. But she said it Rebecca said it herself, like, she was just in, like, a writing frenzy. She was in that mindset. Yeah. She was ready to, like, pump it out and get it out. And just like Xaden.
Not the spoiler. Just, like, redacted. Beep. Wait, are we going to talk about spoilers? That's up to you.
I mean, we do for movies, but I feel like with books it's a little different, because watching an hour-and-a-half movie versus reading a 600-page book is, like, a different expectation.
That's true.
I mean, I guess we could talk about spoilers and be like, go to this timestamp, skip, like, 10 minutes ahead or whatever.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Xaden.
Oh my god, Xaden.
Okay, we're going to talk about him. If you don't want to hear about him,
skip forward. I'm gonna try and do, like, the chapters thing on Spotify. I don't think I can do that anywhere else. So I'm gonna insert here I'm gonna say it. Go to this timestamp. I'm gonna put that right here.
Perfect. I love him. He's my favorite book character of all time.
He has ruined real life men for me.
For real. Like, oh, and I can't.
I was, like, blushing and kicking and screaming as I was reading it.
Oh my god.
And Russell has, like, no idea still what even happens. Russell has no clue.
He's missing out. He's doing a disservice.
I guess he's learning right now since he's listening to this.
He's doing a disservice to himself. Xaden is...
He has much to learn.
At first, I was like, I feel like he's going to be annoying because he's, like, a bad boy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, because he's, like, the perfect balance of, like, soft and, like, also, but, like, knows what he wants, man. Like,
yes.
Just...
Well, there's the knows what he wants. It's also, like, him being torn as well, because he's, like, basically leading the next revolution.
Yeah.
But that all has to stay crazy under wraps. But he also has to put on this face of, like, I am a Basque student. Like, I am the leader of the wing leader. Like, he is basically, like, trying to line himself up to be, like, a general or something someday.
He has so many secrets. He's so many secrets.
His big fat cock isn't one of his secrets. That's not a secret.
No. Yeah, chapter 30. Just so good. Oh and just the build up like before that was so good.
It was so good. So we were talking about the mat. The scene on the mat, with basically, Xaden he has kind of decided at this point that he's going to like align himself with Violet. Because at first, it does kind of come across, even in hindsight, like he has something to gain from being on her side. But also then he does genuinely fall in love with her. But then we also find out in the second one why it is, which is so crazy. But then he still fell in love with her anyways. And it's just... So he's trying to give her some pointers on like the fighting mat about fighting, basically. And she has like this vest type thing where it has all these knives in it, and he's basically like, I'm gonna take all these knives from you and you have to stop me from taking all of your knives. And so then there's this one part where he's like pinned on top of her, and there's literally this line where she's like, it's really hard to not arch my back up to him right now. And I was like,
it was a great scene. And you got it if you had the like in this special edition book. You get the perspective of both
that
of
in
them.
mine. Yeah, there's like 2 extra chapters, and one of the chapters is that. And he also said something similar about how like sexy she looked, and I'm like,
Also, something in this book that I've never read anywhere else. That this was probably my favorite part of the book. They can talk to each other in their minds. And that was my favorite.
That was so good. Especially when he started doing it to her first.
Yes,
and she was
my god.
She was like, what the fuck?
The first time it happened, I was like, oh my god.
Yes!
And then it
was
got
so
it's
good.
So good.
I thought it was so funny when it would be like dead quiet, but they were like looking at each other, and everyone else was like, are you guys fighting right now?
Yeah, there was a scene where they're like in the one class and he's behind her, and it's like before they're like involved with each other, but they can they can talk in each other's minds, and they're like arguing with each other, and then she like drops her pencil.
She like looks around at him or something.
And turns around and she like drops her pencil, and then he picks it up with his shadows for her, and I'm like,
so cute,
kicking my feet.
So the reason why they can read each other's minds, I'm just gonna say it because we're in the spoiler section. The dragons that they have are a bonded pair, like they're mates, and so because of that, they're all linked.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way to explain it.
Yeah, like you have a bond with your dragon where you can talk to your dragon only. Yeah. Your dragon can talk to other dragons, like humans can talk to other humans.
Yeah,
but
well,
you and your dragon...
dragons can permit you to talk to them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But they normally don't. Like the dragon has like strict rules.
It's like a big. There's a lot of like dynamics not really explained about dragons, which I like, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like we'll probably get into that too. Mm-hmm. In the other books. I like Terran. That's like her main dragon.
Yeah,
he's like a
so
grumpy
cool.
dad
basically
kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he's so sweet because he makes a lot of like exceptions for her because she like has that the joint thingy.
Yeah.
And she's like smaller and in different ways weaker than other people, so like it's hard for her to fly.
Yeah, but he gives her a lot of motivation. Like, if I didn't want you, I wouldn't have picked you. I picked you for a reason. You are smart.
Yeah.
You are strong.
Yeah.
You just have to believe in yourself. But like, I remember when wasn't it Xaden who built her her saddle?
A saddle, and then the clip for Andarna.
Yeah. So most like all other dragon riders are able to keep themselves seated on their dragons. Like, there's like kind of like a little like indent the dragons have like in their back, I guess, where they're supposed to normally sit. It's like how I pictured it.
Yeah, and I just pictured them like gripping the scales.
That too, yeah. But Violet can't stay in her seat because she like physically isn't strong enough to like, because you have to like clench yourself onto it, basically.
And like I feel like her legs aren't long enough either because she's supposed to be pretty short. So,
but at first, Taryn was, like, using, like, his magic to, like, hold her in place, and she was like, stop doing that, I need to figure out how to do this on my own, but then she was falling off, like, 20,000 times, but then it wasn't until when Xaden found out that she was having issues staying on her dragon, he was like, well, fuck this, we're just gonna build you a saddle, and so he does, and it was so crazy sweet, and, like,
if he wanted to, he would.
Literally. This is the textbook example. If he wanted to, he would.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's just so good.
I want to reread it so bad.
I'm gonna reread it today.
Probably. Probably same.
Oh, And then, yeah, I don't know. That's, like, what I had for what I wanted to talk about. That's, like, all the spoilers that...
Yeah, that's spoilers.
There's, like, other ones, but they're, like... I feel like they're too dramatic to say.
Yeah, and we're not going to do anything about the second book. Maybe not for a while, because I feel like I need to reread that. And, like, actually, like, take notes and, like, annotate, because...
There's, like,
the second book could have been, like, 2 books.
I agree.
But also, there was so much... It would have been hard for it to be 2 books at the same time, because it would have been, like, 2 little books. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's either would you rather have had 2 little books or 1 giant book like we got? Because there was just a lot that happened in the second one, almost to a fault, in my opinion. Because literally, like, the last, like, 10 chapters, it was like, boom, 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 plot twist, plot device.
Boom noise.
Crazy, basically, yeah.
But, like, and then the first half of the book, because it took me way longer to read the second book than it did the first book.
Yes.
The first book is, in my opinion, way better than the second one. I enjoyed the second one, but it was just, it was just structured differently than the first one. Like, the first half of the book, I was like, this is just, there's not too much going on. And then the second half of the book,
everything
goes on. Like, I feel like it could have been dispersed better throughout the book.
I also wish that last chapter didn't exist.
Nope.
The second one.
Hell no. That was...
I wish that was saved for the second book.
Yes, I agree.
Or just, like, redacted entirely.
I don't know, like, without talking about the second book, I don't know how we're gonna, like... How are there 5 books in this series? Like, genuinely is my question. Because, like, we went from, like... The first book where it's like you're getting so much detail, and then the second book it's just like bam, here's even more things, even more crazier things.
I mean, I kind of see how there could be 5 books because I've read so many crazy theories about what could happen. But also especially if Xaden and Violet are together the whole series or not, or if one of them dies, or if they just like break up.
Yeah.
So
I feel like something like that is going to happen.
Yeah.
In 5 books.
Yeah. No! No!
I think, yeah. I'm doing motions off camera, off
Yeah,
podcast.
This is an audio medium. She did a
because I didn't want to say it because it's a spoiler, but...
Yeah.
I think bad things are coming for Violet and Xaden. Can I say one spoiler from the second book? One thing.
Yes.
I just want to talk about one thing. I want to talk about that throne scene.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god. I have that bookmarked.
I was locked in. I was like, nobody open this door. No one, phone on do not disturb.
Yes.
I was like, this is my like Wattpad dream. This is
basically yes.
Yeah. I'm about to go home and look up Xaden Violet Wattpad. Bye. I've just unlocked the code. Ben, don't listen to this.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that throne scene, that was crazy.
Crazy good.
That was really crazy.
I guess if there's any other spoilers I wanted to talk about in the second one. So the dragon riders get these powers called signets, which they get from like the magic source that they tap into with their dragon. And everyone's signet is individual unto themselves. Like, even if 2 people have, like, a fire signet, they're going to be crazy different. Because they're truly unique, built around, like, you and what your needs are is what it's supposed to be.
I just want to add, and they can, like, someone could have had the same signet, but, like, 100 years prior to you.
Yes.
Like, they do exist in other people, but I don't think they necessarily exist at the same time. That's the only thing I wanted to add.
Yeah. So, even starting from the first book, because I guess another like minor spoiler for the first book is that Violet gets 2 dragons. So even from the first book, there were a lot of like theories and debates about whether she's going to get 2 signets or not, or just 1. And that was even brought up in the second one where she talks to Darna. She's like, "Am I going to get another signet?" And Dana was like, "I don't fucking know. Like, don't ask me."
I don't know, bitch. I'm just a teenager. I'm annoying.
And so it has been confirmed that Violet has a second signet, and that it did manifest in the second book. Which is crazy. There's so many crazy theories as to what it could be.
I know.
I have my strongest theory, which I'm not going to talk about in this space, because I guess we've exited the spoiler zone. This is still semi-spoilery.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of good theories that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've read too many things about this book. I need to stop.
I'm frothing at the mouth. And what doesn't help is, like, every other day Rebecca Yarros is posting on her Instagram story, like, in a writing mood, and it's her with, like, Taylor Swift lyrics. And I'm like, girl,
stop.
What? Stop. You're cringy. And two, like, please give it to me already.
Yeah. Did she say, like, the timeline for when she thinks the next book is going to be out?
Mm-mm. I don't think so anyways. I mean, I can look it up right now. Let me see. Okay, yeah. There's an interview between this, like, blog post or this blog and Rebecca Yarros, and she said just that it's going to be slower than the other ones were, and she has a release date, but I just can't tell you yet.
Oh.
Imagine if it's, like, May 5th again this year, or whatever it was.
Yeah. I hope it's this year. I feel like there's no way it's not going to be this year.
There's no way it can't be this year.
I don't know. I wonder.
I feel like late summer would be, like, the earliest we can maybe healthily expect her to get this book out, if not just November again.
Yeah, I'd be fine with November as long as it's this year. I can't wait for. The worst thing that you did was tell me this book when it was only on book 1 or book 2, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I wish I would have found this when all of them were out, because.
Yeah, I know we both had, like, really bad, like, burn from reading this and not being able to enjoy anything else. And I'm still kind of feeling that.
Oh, I'm going to go on a little tangent talking about that for a second. But, like, I read this and then I was like, oh, I love fantasy. I'm going to read fantasy books. And I'm reading ACOTAR right now. I'm halfway through and it's just, like, not the same. And I know people have said, like, the first book is, like, slow and you just have to, like, suffer through it. But I don't want to suffer through the first book to have to get to, like, the really good second book.
Exactly.
Like, the introduction to the book should be fantastic.
Yeah, just start off, like, running or whatever that phrase is.
Like, I don't know. And
I like Fourth Wing did that really good.
Yes.
It started off running. It started with crazy, insane world building and just, like, total immersion. I haven't started reading ACOTAR yet. I'm not exactly, like, thrilled to.
Yeah.
Like, it's more like I feel like an obligation and I should try to read it. But I did get it, and there's a whole story behind, like, my purchase of it.
Oh, yeah.
When I was at Barnes & Noble. I'll tell it real quick, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was at Barnes & Noble, and I was kind of just, like, fucking around that day. Like, just wanted to get out of the house, so I went and walked around Barnes & Noble. And I picked up, like, 4 books that I didn't plan on getting any of them at all, naturally. And so I'm passing by the ACOTAR, like, table, and I'm like, oh, I guess I should get this because Lilah and Stevie are talking about it. Stevie's, like, another one of our friends who we're doing, like, a book club thing with. And so I go to pick it up, and there's, like, this whole, like, gang of 14 and 15-year-old girls around this table, like, this whole little, like, gaggle of them. And they're all like, oh my god, only, like, my mom and, like, old women like that read these books. Like, these are so cringy. Who would want to read these? Meanwhile, I'm like, I bet you read I bet you read Wattpad fanfic about, like, Harry Styles, and you weren't even around for him, so I don't want to fucking hear it. I bet you read Larry fanfic, and you weren't even born yet, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, God. Do kids nowadays know about Wattpad?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'd like to hope so.
I really hope so. I hope to pass it along to my children.
Yes.
It's a rite of passage.
Yes. I mean, like, Wattpad and, like, AO3 are still very prevalent.
Yeah.
Like, they still have, like, big, like, fan bases that publish on there.
Yeah. True.
Especially AO3. AO3 goes crazy.
AO3 does go crazy. I was never really an AO3 girly. I was Wattpad to my core. And Tumblr text posts.
I read... not the Tumblr text posts. I read, like, a few really, like, long-running fanfics on AO3. Like, there was this one specific one that I wish was published as an actual book because I would buy it. But it was a Hetalia fanfic.
Oh, stop.
Jump scare.
Oh, that's such a jump scare.
Where it was basically like the apocalypse, and it was following Sealand in Denmark, where Denmark was kind of like Sealand's like father figure in this one. And it's basically like all of the countries are dying because there's like an apocalypse going on. And Denmark is trying to like help Sealand survive, and cried. I bawled at the end.
I cried. Saying I cried at a Hetalia AO3 fanfic is fucking crazy, but we've all been
that
there.
could get me put into a soft petted room.
Yeah. Maybe that's something to bring up to your therapist next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, when I was younger...
Oh.
Go ahead.
And there was another series. I don't remember. I think it was posted on both AO3 and Wattpad. That was... It was band fanfic.
Oh, yes. Please tell me it's Vic Fuentes and Kellen Quinn.
I mean, I did read a lot of those.
Oh, okay.
But there was one writer who posted mostly on Wattpad. I think like exclusively on Wattpad that did Kellic, as it was called. Yes. But a few years after she did, like, her stories were crazy good.
Yeah.
But then a few years later, that author made like this big post being like, I'm a few years older now. I recognize this is weird, so I'm still gonna have these stories up, but I'm gonna change their names. And it's still really good.
It's still good.
Yeah, one of them is called like 1,000 Paper Cuts. Sobbing. On the floor wailing. So crazy good and sad.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something... Okay, anyways. So, this one that I read on AF3 was Brennan Urie and Ryan Ross.
So dead!
But it's set back in, like, the 70s or so. Like, they're both, like, small bands starting up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's just good.
It's just really good. I have been wanting to go and find it. I was thinking about it the other day because I really got in this mood on the way home to listen to old Panic at the Disco. Like, specifically, like, Vices and Virtues and Pretty Odd, which are, like, my two favorite albums of theirs. And I was like, I should go back and find that fanfic again. Because basically, I think the premise was, like, they started off, like, as two, like, band members who didn't really know each other. But then their band kind of made it big, and then they also fell in love. And then, like, they went and did, like, solo careers and, like, were together, but also, like, broke up for a while. And then it's just, like, messy. And then, like, but it all takes place in, like, the 70s when, like, being gay wasn't really tolerated.
Yeah.
And just crazy.
It's just good.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just crazy good.
Oh, God.
I need to go find it.
If you find it, link it to me.
I will. But it's like 5 books, basically.
Yes.
It's so good. Oh, my God.
I read this really cancelable book on Wattpad that actually got published. Mm-hmm. And I have, like, the original copy of it. And the same thing, like you said about the other book, I went back because I wanted to reread it. Mm-hmm. And the book is, like, just too thick. I don't really like physical books. I like reading digital books. So I started reading it on my phone. She's like, this is really problematic because the story was about a girl who falls in love with her teacher. Yeah. And she's like, I wrote this when I was, like, 15. And I realized this is really problematic, so I'll keep it up, but I'm so sorry. Yeah. There's, like, a million trigger warnings in this. Yeah. And, but I'm sorry. It was so good. Mm-hmm. And because I read it when I was, like, 13, so I was like, this is fine.
The Kellic writer that I did basically did the same thing. There was 1,000 Paper Cuts is basically, like, they're both inpatients at a mental hospital. There's another one where it's like, it was like Vic is like the devil and Kellen is his slave, and it was crazy. There was another one where it was called, now I'm just blanking, but they were all like, there's like a mafia one.
Oh,
the mafia ones go crazy.
Wait, can I talk about one for a moment?
Please.
Okay, there is the best thing that I've ever read on Wattpad ever. I'm not going to say when I read this because it may have been
very recently.
In the past recent years.
Yesterday.
It's actually open up on my phone right now. So it was, it's Harry Styles. But he's like, okay, wait, there's preface. Okay,
I'm sure there is.
Harry Styles and he's in the mafia. Which sounds so so stupid. But it's so good. He's like a bad boy. He's like addicted to like drugs and alcohol.
Great, just like
he's
in real
like
life.
not. He's like no one can fix me, and I'm in the mafia.
And then like Louis Tomlinson walks in. He's like, I can fix him.
No, the other band members are not in him.
No.
No.
Is it like an OC?
It's basically like if you took out the name Harry Styles, it would be just a regular book.
Okay.
And the only reason the author knows nothing about Harry Styles, she only made the character based off of him because that's what she wanted the dude to look like.
Okay.
And it's so good and it's so messy and it's just perfect. And there's 2 books and they're both like 100 chapters each.
Oh my god.
And it's so good.
That's
and
crazy. You might have to link me that.
it's so good. Like even if you know nothing about Harry Styles and you just think of it as a name, it's so good.
Yeah.
He's like not in a band or anything. Like he owns like a nightclub. That's like that's like his thing.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. You should read it.
I should.
And the writing is like only minimally cringe, but it's like cringe in the best way.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. Fourth Wing Fanfic Podcast.
Yes.
That's what I have to say about fanfiction and Wattpad and Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes.
I definitely recommend if you are a woman between the ages of 20 and 29
Absolutely read this book.
and you loved fanfiction.
Yes. I feel even
I'd
if you
also say
don't,
maybe
even
if you
don't.
didn't, if you were an enjoyer of like the Hunger Games,
Yeah.
maybe even Divergent, just because of like the different sections. If you like spicy romance,
Yeah. And you know what? I like my guilty pleasure is like YA books, but like this is
I agree.
This is written like YA.
adult
YA is the best way, like mature YA. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like
This is for like the kids who like us, like we still like YA.
Exactly. Like I love The Hunger Games. I love Percy Jackson.
Yes.
I love all those types of books. It has like that same like whimsy to it where it's not like super serious. Like like my problem with ACOTAR is like it just seems so serious.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But I think everyone should try it. It's a good gateway into fantasy books, even if you're not like super into them. Because like I thought that I wasn't going to be into it, but it's really good.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like, so I know nothing about Aragon, so I'm just going to say this anyways.
Oh, I read that.
It's like Aragon meets Hunger Games.
Yes.
Meets Wattpad fanfiction.
Meets Harry Potter.
Meets Harry Potter, yeah. I didn't really get the Harry Potter thing until you had said that, but that makes a lot of sense. It's like Harry Potter-esque.
Got major Harry Potter vibes when I was reading it.
I was thinking more like Divergent.
I didn't watch or read Divergent.
Don't.
I heard
Just
it's
save
terrible.
yourself.
Can they not look in the mirror?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Or she's not allowed to, like her family in their like section or whatever, because they're supposed to be, they're Amity or something, so they're basically Amish.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be offensive.
Are they listening?
Oh shit!
If you're Amish, write in and let me know.
They're watching Heartland.
Oh shit! They don't have TVs.
They have phones.
They have Heartland in real life. They have flip phones from Walmart.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Do you have a screenless shout out? Is that what we're gonna transition to?
Yeah, sure. If you're
Okay.
ready to like
I'm ready.
start. Okay. Whew. My screenless shout out right now, I guess, is my friends. I'm not just saying this because you're here. But my friends and family, because this weekend, this Saturday, like 2 days after recording this, it's going to be my 25th birthday. And so I have a lot of family that I'm meeting with and friends. Like, we're going out tomorrow night, and I'm just very grateful and thankful for all of them. Also, I don't think Russell and I have officially said this on the podcast, but we are engaged and we're doing wedding planning, and his family is being a huge help.
I'm telling.
He'll find out. He's gonna listen. And
I'm telling Russell he's engaged.
oh shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be really surprised.
He's gonna be super surprised.
But yeah, my shout out is my friends and family. What is your screenless shout out?
I'm actually gonna screenless shout out another book.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine. If I was reading a good book right now, I'd do that too.
Oh,
but
I'm
not.
reading a bad book, and that's what I'm shouting out.
Okay.
I'm screenless shouting out Birthday Girl.
No, please, no.
By Penelope Douglas.
I am like 2 chapters into this, and I'm already like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I'm on like chapter 5, and it's not good. You know how we were talking about good fan fiction? This
Bad.
is bad.
This is bad fan
This is
fiction.
the bad fan fiction that...
Yes. This is
the bad.
Like,
this is the bad
the
place.
fan fiction that the author updates 10 years later, and they're like, I'm so sorry that I wrote this.
Yes,
In the
I'm so
author's
sorry.
note.
This is so bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna suffer and like have to serve penance for writing this. I'm going to hell for this.
I'm gonna screenless shout out Barnes & Noble.
Yes. I love Barnes & Noble so much. Russell and I are like officially like members now. Like we pay for the membership, so we get like extra discounts and stuff.
Yeah.
And they gave us a really nice canvas tote bag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you, Barnes & Noble, for being my gateway.
Thank you, thank you, Lauren, for being my gateway
You're welcome.
into this wonderful world of books.
Yeah. It's like, you know, if books were drugs, Fourth Wing would be like the marijuana that they say is going to get you into heroin.
Yeah. Except it does.
Except it is the heroin, actually.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
I guess me too, for now.
Kill Dane.
Fuck Dane.
That's
but
it.
not actually, like, fuck Zayden. Kill Dane.
Exactly. Fuck, Mary,
Marry
kill.
Liam.
Perfect. What'd you say this morning? Fuck, Mary, kill. Pancakes. Eggs,
Scrapple.
Scrapple. Or...
No, it was fuck, marry, kill, Scrapple. Home fries.
And
or orange juice with extra
pulp.
pulp.
I would fuck the orange juice with the extra pulp.
Ugh.
So
I
I
would
need-
kill them all and myself.
Yeah, I'd do that.
I would fuck the home fries because they could be better, you know, if they were just hash browns. Like
I love hash browns.
Well, no, actually, I would marry the home fries.
Okay.
I
hope we're collectively killing the Scrapple.
I'm killing the Scrapple.
Okay, good.
But I really don't want to fuck the orange juice.
But it's got extra pulp.
I don't. That's why I said extra pulp. I hate pulp.
Oh, I love pulp.
I don't like pulp.
I'm into the pulp.
You can have my pulp.
Fuck, marry, kill. John Cena. The Rock. And and Among Us.
And an Among Us.
Yeah.
Okay, I would marry John Cena. I would kill The Rock, and I would fuck the Among Us.
Whoa! This is a wild take. That's crazy.
What about you?
Oh, I might marry the Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it right now. I would marry the Among Us.
There's one right there, too.
John Cena kind of scares me. But so does The Rock.
He's a short king.
Alright, I'll fuck John Cena and I'll kill The Rock.
Okay.
I think we need to stop this.
Thank you, Lilah, for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hope we can meet up again someday to talk about Iron Flame when we
Yes.
both reread it. I want to do like actual annotations. The
Yeah.
Iron Flame one will probably be spoilerful.
Yeah, I think that's gonna have... We're gonna have to give like more context, and it's gonna be a lot more detail.
Yeah, there's no way we're not going to be able to have spoilers in that one.
Mm-hmm. Shout out The Rock.
I'm going to invite The Rock to my wedding.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday. Early birthday.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.